we're going to talk about why our community does not need another failed business. Now, I might seem like a strange person to be bringing this message because I've spent most of my year as a business developer telling folks to go out and start a company. Talking about all the benefits, why our company, why our community needs it. It's the key to the kingdom. It's the equalizer, and all those reasons. And those reasons have not changed. The only thing that has changed now is that I want people to be more thoughtful, more purposeful in their decision to jump into the business arena. First of all, it's not easy. And the reason many people do it is because they say, look, well, if I do it and it doesn't work, I'll just go back to my 9-to-5 job and all will be well. Well, that's true. You can do that. But what about the relationships and the damage you may have done with that hasty decision? Now, what's driving everybody to go out and try to start a business in the first place? Our family members. Sometimes we get tired of being kicked around at the job. Sometimes things like racism, sexism, ageism. We're not getting a fair shake on the marketplace. We want independence. Income, we need additional income. Sometimes it's just plain old misinformation that starting a business is easy and that it's victimless if we fail. Those are some of the things that makes us start these businesses sometimes without all the thought that should go into it. Because there are victims. There are people that are hurt sometimes by your decision to jump into business and jump out without the proper thought, before and after thought. We start out, we call these people your stakeholders. We start out with the clients themselves. I can't enumerate the number of times that I've seen people go into business and they built a client list. And sometimes that client list came at the expense of moving that business from an existing company to your company. In other words, I took my money out of this bank to put in your bank because you convinced me that this was a better choice. I took my hosting off this company and put it on yours because you convinced me you were a better choice. I got rid of this gardener. I got rid of this accountant because you convinced me that you were more professional, that you were a better fit for my company. So I've switched all of my accounts. I've moved my information. And then 6 months later, you're gone. Now I've got to go back and do that all over again. I burned the bridge sometimes in the process. I can't go back to the company I just left, so now I'm out here looking for another company. Sometimes people do go back to the company they left. They realize they made a mistake. Happens all the time. I can't tell you how many times people have come back to me after they left, went somewhere else. Somebody waved a shiny object in front of them. One of these fly-by-night companies, they didn't last 3, 4, 5 months. They come back, the tail between their legs. I didn't know that company was this, or I didn't know, I thought they were. In other words, my point is, there are victims to this decision. So your customers and your clients, that's the number one victim. The other victim is your staff. You go out here and hire people. You promise them the moon and the stars. Leave that company, come work for me. And some did. They see this new startup company, sharp young lady or man running it, wave a nice salary in front of you. So you left that secure company to come work for this startup. You close up shop, now they're back on the marketplace without a job. Community. You open that grocery store. You open that restaurant. When you did that, you blocked out another competition because sometimes there's a bidding going on. Sometimes there's only room for one. You decide to close up, now there's the vacuum. Partners. You're forging these partnerships. You're hitching your wagon to some reputable company to give yourself legitimacy. They're beating your drum for you. They've hitched their wagon to yours. You go out here, you blow it, it puts a stain on them as well. Don't even talk about investors. That's obvious. It costs money. And then there's if in our community specifically, you go out here and blow it, and the next person that comes along that looks like you is going to have a harder time. You're dealing with people's personal information, their databases, their customer lists, their goodwill. So this decision to hastily start a business and then fold up is not a victimless crime. You can't just say, look, oh, well, I tried. Now I'm go back to bed and go to sleep and sleep like a baby when you left a trail of destruction in your wake. This is not to scare you or to make you feel bad. I'm just saying, think this through and do it the right way. There's an old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I can't solve your business problems today or in a 1 hour show or in 100 1 hour shows. But what I can do is equip you, tell you some basic, some foundational things you can do to make sure you're not starting a business that has no chance of succeeding. And if you like many, you did everything right. Sometimes it's circumstances beyond your control. How do you get out of it? Well, first of all, it's plan. So get a marketing plan, business plan. At the very minimum, do a SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You need to know what your strengths are, what the opportunities are. What are your weaknesses? And what are the threats on the horizon before you decide to start a business? Continue to educate yourself. What was good for, in some of these instances, what was good for last month is not good 6 months down the road. You have to constantly stay on top of your game and the industry. What's going on in that industry? Particularly in this era in which we live right now. Everything is so technical and the life cycles are shorter. Do an examination of your mindset. If you still feel like you need that Mercedes, that Jaguar, when you're trying to start a business and you're just trying to get off the ground and that's your priority, you feel like you need to take a trip every month, that's your priority when you're trying to start a business, you are digging your own grave, I'm telling you. Even if you can afford it, because there is this cycle that businesses go through. Introduction, growth, maturity, decline. You may be in an industry that has a growth. Things are really booming. That can end. That can fly away like a thief in the night. So you need a mindset that says, I have to understand that being in business is tough. There's going to be good days and bad days. And just because I had a good week or a good month or a good year, I can't go out here and load up on luxury cars and other trappings. So it's a mindset that's going to prepare you. You have to understand marketing. Marketing is not just about advertising. Marketing is about understanding the marketplace, understanding your audience, understanding your location, distribution channels, consumer adoption processes, life cycles, KPIs, the marketing metrics. You have to understand marketing. If you don't understand it, you better get somebody who does. Otherwise, you're going to be one of these companies that we're talking about. And you got to have a mission and a purpose too. Money is good, but you need more than that. You need to be grounded in something. You need money, but you need a purpose too. And I don't want to minimize the money part. Let me jump on that. Many people that have come to me over the years seeking to start a business, they were bootstrapping it. They had very little money, but they had a lot of grit, a lot of willpower, a lot of energy. They had big supporters, but they were more or less moral support. You have to be able to fund those aspirations. This is one place where the wish factor is just not enough. I'm not saying you need a big $1 million investor. If you have a stock portfolio, you can get money against that stock. You can do a HELOC. There are ways to get money, but you must be able to fund these aspirations. You can't just say, I'm going to go out here and make it as I go, because some things require upfront capital investments, things like inventory. If you're an author, you got to buy the books. You can't just say, I'm going to buy one book on the book that I just sold. You have to be able to invest in things like inventory and technology and people, location. That is not a pay-as-you-go option. You need some money. And that's where your plan will come in too. Your business plan with a projection will tell you how much money you need. And back to our purpose. It's got to be something greater than making money. Because what's going to happen, you're going to have those bumps in the road, those difficult days, those difficult months. And you're going to be one of those people that's going to be tempted to throw in the towel. Everybody else be damned. So what? I'm going to throw some people out of work. I'm going to burn some bridges and relationships. I've taken people's word. I've made promises that I'm not going to keep. Sometimes that purpose, if it's a greater calling, you will be able to get through those tough times. It's got to be something greater than just making $1. I'm just telling you. If you don't, I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Stay on your day job. We don't need another failed business. Because the money, I'm telling you, money is too fleeting. Markets are too fickle. Competition is too fierce and strategic. If you can't commit to a purpose and something greater than just chasing $1, don't do it. I'm telling you, I don't want to see another failed business out here. I'm getting tired. So let's say you've done all this. You say, oh, look, Robert, I did everything you said. I have a purpose, a mission, money, market. It's just not coming together, because there are sometimes extenuating circumstances. The market changes. A war breaks out. Supply chain issues. There's nothing you can do to fix it. Well, failure does not exempt you from responsibility. Just because things didn't go your way, you can't say, well, look, I tried. Everybody. Give yourself a exit ramp. You know what an exit ramp is? When you're driving down the street, you're going like 70 miles an hour. You can't just make a right turn. You need a ramp so you can slow things down and prepare you to get off. You don't decide tomorrow to go out of business. Get on in the exit ramp. Talk to folks. Let them know what you're about to do. Don't just leave people out here hanging. You're going to hurt some people. Do the responsible thing, because your reputation has to survive this setback. I know sometimes when we close a business, we feel like it's the end of the world, but it's not. You can come back. You can come back stronger, but it depends on how you left.